I've seen tangible changes that have improvements from last year to this year. So it's always kind of very encouraging. Right. It was very influential in how I did looked at Dawah and talked about the 5 pillars, and he had a very kind of efficient framework to use.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Da'wah Legacies with your host Abdullah Panjwani, and an awesome guest today who has been a long-standing supporter of iERA and a medical doctor by trade, a lifelong passionate person when it comes to the Da'wah scene. Respected viewers and listeners, we introduce you to Dr. Khwaja.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, very well, thank you.
MashaAllah. Very infectious smile, subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah,
very contagious.
It's a simple thing, but smiling is sadaqah.
Subhanallah.
So it's infectious. So when you smile, it manifests in many ways, and inshallah you get reward for it.
That's great to hear, mashallah. Before we actually get into the nitty-gritty, we tend to ask some quick-fire questions.
Okay.
So here goes, bismillah. Cricket or football?
Football.
Okay, subhanallah. Okay, biryani or mandi?
Biryani.
Okay, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee, mashallah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. You always seem to be like the kind of person that ponders and thinks a lot about different matters.
Sometimes, not all the time, but yeah, sometimes.
But that certain energy about you. How many cups of coffee have we had today?
Oh, today maybe in the morning 3 or 4 small ones.
Subhanallah.
in the morning for breakfast.
How has Malawi coffee been?
It's okay, it's not too bad, yeah, it's good. I'm not one of those really
avid
connoisseurs of coffee.
Okay, baristas.
Yeah, I'm not that fancy, I need this type of coffee or anything. No, I'm just okay.
MashaAllah.
Tea or coffee either, but coffee probably in the morning.
Despite such a long day, you seem to be still quite like, not caffeinated, but activated, mashallah.
Activated, but it's in being in your presence, it's just rejuvenated and
Alhamdulillah.
I'm excited.
Oh, that's great to hear, mashallah. So talk to us about Destination Dawah. Was that something that you've been involved in for the past couple of years? Is it something you heard of only this year?
Yeah, it's my second time part of Destination Dawa. And I've been, like you were saying earlier on, I've been very involved in Dawa in a very informal way before in the past, but with friends and family and opportunistically when you talk to people about Islam. So I've always had that, but one of my friends mentioned that there was a Destination Dawa going on and I wanted to get involved in something a bit more organised, and that was a great opportunity I took last year, and I thought it was important that we follow up on that and see how things have progressed, and alhamdulillah I've seen tangible changes that have improvements from last year to this year. So it's always kind of very encouraging that your team, the iERA team, are doing great work in the field.
Alhamdulillah, that's great to hear. Has Da'wah been something you've always been actively involved in?
Yes, I think if I think back to my youth, even early youth, I was probably quite active in Da'wah, but again in an informal way. You know, from the time of the late Sheikh Ahmed Didat, he had his little booklets, and I think that inspired me a little bit.
That is actually the answer to the next question that I was going to ask about. Were there any inspirations? So now that you've answered, perhaps Ahmed Didat might have been one of them. Any current inspirations you have?
What I found is when I used to talk about Islam before, I used to talk about different topics in Islam and it'd be quite unfocused. So you talk about economy in Islam, you talk about the punishments in Islam, but you wouldn't talk, and you waste time in those areas. So there's one da'i called Kamala Mekki who was very influential in how I did looked at Dawah and talked about the 5 pillars, and he had a very kind of efficient framework to use. And obviously you've got with iERA you've got the GoRap one, which is virtually identical. So what I found is that you can interface between the two. You don't have to do, it's not one box fits all. So you can use that depending on who you're talking to.
Right. So as mentioned earlier, a medical doctor as well, subhanAllah. Yes. Has there ever been any incident during your practice that Da'wah has played a huge part and role?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you health is not just physical, it's it's the body, mind and the soul. And for true health is when you can access all these points. So if somebody comes and they've got a simple cold, but if you tie it in with, if they're spiritual or from a spiritual background, you tie that into it and it's much more effective.
Right. Any particular incident that stands out?
There's simple ones. For example, you talk about a simple cold and a cough. So I recommend, instead of, if most patients don't like taking medicine, so I say, look, maybe try with asal or honey, and see if that goes on simple medication if you need it. So I give the patient a choice of options of what they want to do, and some prefer to take medicine, some don't prefer to take medicine. But you're trying to understand the patient and which direction and how you package that information.
Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Now moving back to Destination Dawa, this has been your second day over here in Malawi, alhamdulillah?
Yeah, I think
second and a half,
two and a half, yeah, third
right?
day, yeah.
And inshallah there's going to be 5 more
yes.
fun-filled, not only fun-filled, but inshallah da'wah-filled itineraries to go, inshallah.
Absolutely.
What are you looking forward to most?
What I'm really looking forward to is seeing the progress that the unsung heroes of iERA in Malawi have done, because it's very easy for us from outside coming in, but we don't see, it's a bit like an iceberg, we don't see all the hard work that you guys have done from last year or every day. So 95% of that iceberg we don't see. We only see the 5% at the top, but mashallah, I've been really impressed from where you've gone on leaps and bounds from last year, and inshallah it's a continuous evolving process. Every year you'll be improving, and obviously if you're looking at the numbers also indicate that you're on the right trajectory. So it's all kind of good news as well. So I'm really happy, I'm really pleased to be to support you guys in this project.
Alhamdulillah, that's fantastic to hear. So now, in your past 2 to 3 days here in Malawi, has there been any one particular moment that has completely exceeded your expectations?
I think what's exceeded my expectations, because I saw the projects last year and I compared it to this year's. So we did the Mass Dawa event today, and it seemed like it was a lot more involvement from the villagers this time round. They were much more involved and the chiefs were involved, and it was a much more interactive process, whereas previously it was more kind of instruction led, whereas this one there was kind of genuine happiness, genuine celebrations. It was a celebration before, but it just seemed like on another level compared to last time. So that really took me by surprise, because it was that level. And a lot larger numbers as well.
MashaAllah. Now, Malawi in general, you've mentioned Malawi is something that is a place that, alhamdulillah, you have been to. Has it been a couple of times so far? Or
it's
more?
My second time, yes.
Second time,
yeah,
mashallah.
Yeah.
What has attracted you most to the Malawians in general? Is there any one quality that you've seen within them that has made you feel really amazed?
One simple question, I think, one simple quality is they're always smiling and happy and very content. They seem very content. Whereas if you go to London or the UK, you see people miserable, and materialistically they have a lot more, and the Malawi people generally have less materially, but they're very relaxed and really happy and content. So this is, as they say, it's the warm heart of Africa, and you can see that straight away, and you don't find it in many other countries in Africa as well. So this is kind of the slogan. It's actually true, the slogan that they say. Alhamdulillah.
Now, in regards to iERA, when was your first time that you were introduced to iERA, and what did you feel during that time?
The first time I met them is probably at an Islamic event, but I've been aware of them for a long time. So I just interacted with a few of the members, and I have the What's Your Goal t-shirt and all that kind of stuff. So again, I was a supporter of iERA, but I wasn't actively involved. I've only started getting actively involved since the last couple of years. but I was supporting them.
Alhamdulillah, that's fantastic to hear. So now, when it comes to so many different da'wah organizations, jamaats, or people in general that may want to start getting involved in the da'wah scene, or may feel a bit down right now, has there ever been, or is there any motivational quote, ayat, or verse that inspires you when you feel low?
I think if you have one verse, people are very shy about doing dawah. So they're very worried about, do I know all the information, and petrified that I don't know all of Islam. But we're always learning. So if you know one small bit, you convey that message. So you always do your bit, and remember, at the end of the day, our job is just to give the message in our best form we can do. And the results, we don't rely on the results. The results are down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So remember, Islam is a action-based faith. It's about doing your bit and leaving the results to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
MashaAllah, truly enlightening words. Jazakallah khair for your priceless company. May Allah bless you infinitely in your health, your wealth, your ilm, and your time.
Inshallah.
Now, moving on to the final part of the episode of this podcast, which is known as Dawah Legacies. 10, 20, 30 years down the line, how would you like Dr. Kashif Khwaja to be remembered by?
I'd like to, you want to be remembered as a kind of person who was selfless and driven by a vision of, inshallah, living, trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and inshallah with his rahmah and mercy that we attain Jannat al-Firdaus. So I'd like to be remembered as a person of action and doing little bits and continuing that, so somebody else could take that legacy. I don't want it to stop once we die. I want your family or your friends or some other organisation, iERA, whoever, to continue that legacy, because it's a continuous effort. It doesn't stop. So you need to have that kind of vision and direction of where you want to do, and you want people to remember you from that perspective.
So like more of a sustainable investment?
Absolutely, yes. It's sustainable, long-term vision, and we live in a fast food society. Everyone wants instant results, so we shouldn't be concerned about getting the results here and now. So maybe in 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years, inshallah, we want to come back to Malawi when it's all Muslim.
Inshallah, definitely.
Inshallah.
May Allah make us a means of that happening,
Ameen.
inshallah.
Ameen.
And not only that, but just generally, may Allah make us a means of spreading Islam and inculcating Islam as a lifestyle more than just a religion within our lives.
Absolutely.
Jazakallah khair once again, Doctor. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This has been your host Abdullah Panjwani with a very informative and special episode with Dr. Kashif. Jazakallah khair to one and all for continuously supporting us on this amazing journey. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for even more amazing content and guests. And on that note, to one and all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, some people have joined on the ground and they are professionals. Okay, some of them are businessmen, some of them are doctors, general practitioners. I became practicing in 2001. I wasn't practicing before that as a Muslim.